three great companies for you guys to take a look at today. The first of which is rubbish. Elena, take it away.
All right, let me just share my screen here. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Thumbs up? Okay, great. All right, so thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to talk about rubbish and what we've been doing and a little bit about current COVID kind of pivoting ideas that we've come up with. So Rubbish is, my name is Elena, I'm the co-founder of Rubbish, and we are looking at litter differently. We're using data to find novel solutions to an old problem. Alrighty, so our philosophy is that everyone deserves to love what they live, and we're on a mission to help that happen. We found that litter patterns are as dynamic as traffic patterns, and while we use Waze to find better driving routes and Trulia or Zillow to understand home values, the gray area between the road and our front door is often overlooked. So what we do, or I guess first the problem. So a lot of money is being spent to clean up litter, but the truth is there have not been a lot of innovation and a lot of changes in our approach over the last 50 years. So we found that time and resources are not being maybe effectively applied. The tools are very outdated. It's not a particularly sexy industry, so the innovation could use some work. And residents end up very frustrated by what's happening. So our solution is a combination of software and hardware, and I have our hardware here. I think you can still see my screen. So we use an app that we designed to help track and map litter. We use this smart picker-upper to make litter cleaning a little bit more fun for those that are being paid to do it, as well as folks who are good Samaritans or doing it just because they love their neighborhood. And the end result is data and analytics that help resources be allocated more effectively. One thing that we like to bring up as a case study that we've done is our pilot program in San Francisco, where we picked up litter 3 times a week for a year, and at the end picked up over 130 pieces of litter. What we did is take a heat map of all the cigarette points, put them on a map, and we put up 1 cigarette disposal in just the right spot. And what happened was a reduction of 46% in cigarette litter over just a 2-week period, which is pretty remarkable considering how much people work at reducing litter, and really just putting it up in just the right spot led to that big result. And later on, a couple of weeks after we put up our cigarette disposal, San Francisco, the Department of SF Public Works put up 5 more cigarette disposals in the area. And we worked with them to clean them out for them. And we counted every single cigarette butt, and what we found is that they barely made a dent. Some other champions of our work have been working with universities like the University of Pennsylvania to get their students engaged to map litter after their campus went tobacco-free, and realized that smokers still smoked and there was a lot of cigarette butts on the ground. So we work with them to help identify how they can reposition those units more effectively. We also do a lot of improvement tracking. So we worked with a business improvement district in San Francisco, as well as a conference right before COVID-19, to help them understand how to allocate resources more effectively using information. We do a lot of audits and mapping to help neighborhoods get baseline views of what their streets look like, and analyze litter. So our services include community tracking, so that property managers, business improvement districts, and in the Bay Area, community benefit districts can give immediate attention to the areas that need it the most. And then our audit and mapping services serve more like a SaaS product to give tools and resources back to administrators. The results that we have at the end are a combination of data science using the information, as well as engagement. And this is a representation of some of our analytics. So we have really granular information into street health, everything from litter per square footage to understand whether you're a commercial or a residential building, what litter looks like on a day-to-day basis. We have month-over-month insights. That little arrow right there is from last year. We analyzed litter kind of throughout the campfires, SantaCon, Halloween, and you could see a huge dip in campfires just because no one was outside. We're seeing the same trends now, although less of overall litter, more of some types of litter. And then a block by block litter index that really serves to help you understand in a granular way what blocks look like and what can be done to improve certain areas and how to go about that. Some future that we have seen for rubbish is bringing together us as residents from a lifestyle perspective and cities and bridging that communication. So what are the cleanest parks? What parks might need more help? Where do you open up a coffee shop? Another opportunity or another market is corporate CSR and volunteer time off, to use our platform to help engage employees to do something positive either for their community or that of their company and the nearby area, using our tools to help clean up, but also track their impact, their personal and corporate impact. And sponsored cleanups. And I know that we wanted to focus a little part of this conversation on COVID. And the interesting thing for us is that data now more than ever in the kind of coronavirus environment has shown us that if you know what the problem is, you need data to understand the problem, and then you can solve it. And we've kind of experienced a similar effect. A lot of the customers that we have are business improvement districts and municipalities, and they have been deemed essential services because they are related to street health and cleanliness. So we actually signed a contract 3 weeks into shelter in place with a business improvement district in San Francisco who are looking to identify areas that need improvement, but also verify them where they're disinfecting and share that information with the city of San Francisco and with the local community. So we really found that routing resources effectively and verifying what is being done is critical now, especially now. And sponsored cleanups are interesting because it's an idea we had a while ago about how to kind of crowdsource cleaning. And we're actually bringing that back in COVID times to experiment with cleaning for folks that have been are displaced workers. Maybe there were bartenders or restaurants, and since stores are shut down here in the Bay Area, shelter in place has been extended another month through June 1st. So stores are not reopening back up, and a lot of folks are home with potentially some time on their hands. Maybe they need a little bit of sunshine and a stroll around their block, and maybe they can do something good for their community while still making a couple of extra dollars to help them supplement their lives in this time. And that's it. Open to questions. Try to keep it quick.
Excellent. Well, we already have a question. What is your business model? So just before you answer that, though, I do want to answer the second part of the question that we generally on these pitches, we're savoring the financials for one-on-one discussions post our quarantine series. If you want to take that offline, that's fine. I'm sure there are some financials that some people want to keep confidential, and so there might be NDAs or something involved. But
I can answer quickly if you want, Jim. If not, that's fine. But if you want a quick answer.
But certainly from the business model perspective, if you can answer that, that would be great.
Sure. So we are a for-profit company. We're not a non-for-profit. We're socially driven, but a for-profit. And our business model is SaaS. So we use teams, or our customer are these business improvement districts or teams if it's in a corporate environment. And our dashboard provides collective impact information as well as time tracking, location tracking, and dashboard access.
A question from me: how much success? Well, I mean, what's the success rate versus from corporates versus kind of government entities, business improvement districts, things like that? The kind of the quasi-governmental or public-private partnership kind of stuff. How much traction are you getting in either of those two spaces?
Yeah. So they are different, that's true. So from the government, municipality, business improvement district space, as I mentioned, COVID has really highlighted how critical these services are. And because they're all essential businesses, they're really looking to utilize both financially and physically their resources as effectively as possible. So we're doing pretty well. In April, we really committed to talking to more and more customers since everyone is a little bit home. So having those conversations is helpful, and those are going very well. From a corporate or private public partnership standpoint, I think what we're seeing is more people re-engaging in their communities because everyone is home. So all I have is the area that I can either jog to or walk to. Less folks are driving. So that recommitment to the community has been a big spark on our end for people who either participate in now more socially distant cleanups, but people that are doing more in their communities. So we've gotten a lot of engagement and a lot of activity for our rubbish beam, which is, I suppose, another arm in our business model. So this we're manufacturing in-house right now, but we are looking to scale and have a partner picked out for us at scale. And a lot of interest in that has come around so that people can do independent walks or can walk and do something positive while collecting, almost like a Nike Run, keep a personal impact for themselves, but then being able to share that with their community and being a part of a team if they so choose. For corporations, we have had in the past couple of weeks a lot of conversations about using the beam to engage their employees together from afar.
Okay. And what about dangerous litter, needles, and also from a liability perspective, how are you protecting yourself or de-risking yourself from aspects of liability?
Yeah, that's a great question. San Francisco is definitely not the cleanest place. So we have a lot of hazardous and dangerous litter laying around, unfortunately. Our app integrates directly with 311. So we don't recommend anybody pick up anything like needles. We don't recommend people picking up poop. It's not really made for that. But when you take a picture through our app, you can automatically send that to 311, who will come and take care of it. So from a liability perspective, that's how we separate it. And the beam kind of separates you a little bit from being able to, or from picking up with your hands. So we do like to maintain that little part, that separation.
How does the hardware solution that you've got integrate with your process, and how is that going to be distributed?
Yeah, so the hardware is a big part of the excitement and the engagement that we've seen, because it just takes the stigma away from litter collection and makes it more fun. So right now, the integration is super easy. So the way that it's built right now, all you do is you press a power button, which is right here, and then you have the beam and your phone goes right here. And every single time you pick something up, it actually automatically takes a picture on your phone. We are iOS only at the moment, so that is a slight limitation, and we're working on an Android, but otherwise the integration is pretty seamless. We want to work with bigger partners that are across the nation, and the plan would be to scale this at a manufacturer where we're making it in quantities larger than our 3D printer is capable of right now.
Okay. I do know a place in South San Francisco. If you're interested, I will actually in San Jose as well, but I'll take that offline with you. Are you currently in a funding round?
We are. So we started, we've been working on this. It started off as a project. My partners and I come from very different backgrounds. Last year, we all left our jobs to work on rubbish full time. It's not an easy choice, but that's what we chose to do. We're really committed to making this work, and we see that this solution doesn't exist, and we want to be the source of truth for litter and for street health. So we started 2020 focused on fundraising. We had a couple of folks who've been kind of following our journey over the years, especially as we were cleaning litter in San Francisco on a 8-block stretch, 3 days a week. So we met a couple of folks literally while we were picking up litter. One of them became our first investor in February, which was very exciting. His background is in real estate, so he kind of saw a similarity between street health and the value it has on our lives. We are currently fundraising. We're raising a 750 pre-seed. We have about 14% committed, and when COVID kind of closed down a lot of the city, we all as a team agreed in April to focus on talking to customers. We thought that this was a good opportunity for honestly everyone to be home and for people to be more willing to hop on a phone or have a conversation or have a cup of coffee virtually. So in April, we spoke to probably over 30 different organizations on the phone. So if you imagine every hour, every conversation is an hour. So we tried to dedicate a lot of time to that. But that being said, we are still talking to funds that focus on early stage companies as well as angels who are passionate about what we're doing.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Elena. I'm going to move on to